Hey bestie, how are ya? Welcome to another Bookmas video and a new reading challenge. In today's video, I'm going to tell you what the Getting Lit in 2024 challenge is, maybe a few tips and tricks, and I'll be sharing some of my book picks with you. Welcome to my first yearly reading challenge.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Wait, I do have two more actually, and look out for that video because it's coming soon. But I guess you could say my first prompt-filled yearly challenge. Yeah, that. I'm so glad to be sharing this with you as well as creating it so like that we could do this challenge together. What is the Getting Lit in 2024 reading challenge? So this is year one of the Getting Lit in 2024 reading challenge. Look at it this way. It's a fun scavenger hunt that lasts a whole year. It's made up of 50 prompts plus 5 bonus prompts for my bookies that love to go the extra mile with things. Or if you're like me, you think you can read all the books that you plan out, but then sometimes don't. And that's okay, by the way. So the goal is pretty simple. You basically find a book to match to that said prompt for a grand total of 50 to 55 books throughout the course of 2024. I absolutely love challenges like this because it's like a fun way to expand your reading and read different things. These challenges motivates you to read more and to read outside of your comfort zone. And the cool thing about it is that you get to try out new authors that you may end up loving, new genres that you typically or normally don't read, and meet new characters along the way. So basically for us, that means making more friends, yeah. Not to mention the fact that it's a whole lot of fun. I mean, like I said, I love these type of challenges. How do I complete the challenge? Listen, bestie, one thing that I want you to know is that you're in control. You choose what you want to read for the different prompts and at your own pace. The main guideline that I have for this is, of course, that you complete it before 2024 ends. The challenge runs from January 1st all the way to December 31st. That's more than enough time to try to complete these prompts. Try to get creative with these prompts and the books you decide to read. That makes it a little bit challenging sometimes, but it mainly adds more fun to the challenge. You can also read in any format and in any order you choose to. My number one suggestion is for you to join my book club, Totally Book Club. I'll have that link down below. In the book club, you will find the prompts plus some bonus things that I created, me and other readers that can help you along the way while doing this challenge. How can I make things a little more easier or challenging? Okay, so first things first, this is more meant to have fun and be creative with it and try new genres and read a little differently than you normally would. So don't feel like you have to complete the full 50 to 55 prompts. I sometimes don't even complete them all because we all know how readers are. We'll start reading other things. Right? So don't worry about it. It's just meant to have fun and get all nerdy with each other, However, if you need to change the difficulty, like to make it a little easier because you're like, oh, 50 prompts are just too overwhelming for me, don't worry, bestie. I got your back. So basically, if you want to make the challenge a little bit easier, you can double up on prompts, and that will basically cut it in half. And instead of 55 books, you'll be reading 25. Or if you really feel like you don't read as much, but you're trying to get into reading, then just triple up the prompts. Like you can find a book that goes with 3 prompts. If you're one of my besties that can read pretty quickly, know that 50 is not enough for you, well, I kind of added 5 more prompts for you. Listen, I was not gonna add another 50 for you, okay. Here's how you can make it more challenging. You can complete 1 prompt every week. That means you have to finish a book that week, which I know for some of my friends that's pretty easy, but for some people it could be an extra challenge. Or you can pick 1 genre to complete this whole challenge on. That to me is like super hard to do. Most you can do is 2 genres, but if you really about that, I'm that bitch, I know that I can complete this, choose 1 genre then, and let's see how you do. The other thing you can do is complete this challenge twice. For my besties that can read like 200, 300 books a year, this is gonna be nothing for you. Yes, there's some bookworms that literally can do that. That could never be me. Another way that you can make it more difficult is complete the challenge in order. You'd be surprised how hard that can be to stick to like each one and doing it in order. Okay, bestie, so now that all those little details are done, let's dive into these prompts. The first prompt is a book that was published in 2024. I'm pretty sure that a lot of you besties out there have like some anticipated reads. Well, this is your chance to read it in 2024, which I know that sometimes for me, I tend to push all my other books to the side just to read a new release. The books that I'm planning to read, hopefully, is Happily Never After by Lynn Painter. Another one that I have for this prompt is House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas. I know that everyone is going bonkers over this book. All my friends, girlies, bookies that have read the Crescent City books are dying. They've been dying for this one. I'm gonna be one of those girlies that is gonna go on that train and actually read that book too, even though I have to read the first 2 books first, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Prompt number 2 is read a book that's recommended by Reese Witherspoon's book club or Read with Jenna's book club. So the book that I picked out for this prompt is The Guest List by Lucy Foley. And you can see it has the evidence that it is a Reese book club book pick. Okay, then another one that I have that I'm excited to read next year is 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. And you can see again the symbol that, you know, the sticker that just is printed on there that we all hate as bookworms. Yeah. Prompt number 3 is read a book by an LGBTQ author. The book that I decided to go with is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This was actually one that I wanted to read this year, but I never got around to it, just like a lot of other series that I put out there, but we ain't gonna talk about that, not today, not in this video. Prompt number 4 is BookTok recommendation. Okay, bestie, so you know that this challenge wouldn't be complete without a BookTok recommendation. Here's the ones that I definitely want to read next year. Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, and this book is just all over the place. BookTok, Bookstagram, all over. Does It Hurt by H.D. Carlton. After reading Haunting Adeline, and I'm currently reading Hunting Adeline, I'm hooked. I want to read everything by H.D. Carlton. Hooked by Emily McIntyre. Okay, so I read Cross this year by Emily McIntyre. Even though it was, I believe, a 3-star or 3.5-star read, I still want to try the other books in the Never After series. Yes, Never After series. Yeah, and besides that, because I bought them, so yeah, they have to be read either way. And let me tell you, my Delulu self really thought I was gonna read all, I think it's 5 in the series now. And yeah, that wasn't happening. I don't know who told me, but yeah. Prompt number 5 is book about a secret. I have 2 different books picked out for this one. One that I don't have, which is Psycho by Robert Bloch, I think is how you pronounce it, and Christine by Stephen King. I mean, bestie, you know me. A year is not complete if I don't read a Stephen King book. And you might see this book again on this list. Next up is prompt number 6, and that's a reflected image on the cover. For that prompt, I have Forever Never by Lucy Score, and you can see the reflective image. So anything that has like a reflective image, you know, double the stuff on the cover. Yeah. Prompt number 7 is a character-driven book. I had to go with Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent, and this cover, oh my god, is stunning. I've been wanting to read this because it's everywhere, okay? It was taking the world by storm on BookTok, on Bookstagram. I kept seeing it all over the place. So, of course, I had to get it. And it's gonna be read this year. Another book that I chose is Normal People by Sally Rooney. There's a reason behind why I chose this book too. Not only because I was curious about reading Sally Rooney, because I know they're like a very mixed author. It's either you absolutely love their stuff or you can't stand it. So I wanted to see where do I fall, and there might be a possibility that there's a video planned around this type of book theme. So make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, because there's a lot of stuff I got planned for next year. Just a little teaser. Prompt number 8 is read a book with a grieving character. This is what I chose. The Kite Runner by Khalid Hosseini. I actually meant to read this one this year, but it definitely looks like I'm not getting to it. So roll over to next year. Another one that I have planned is Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. Hopefully this one doesn't give me any unwanted surprises like, what was that? Wolf Song did. It's like, I was like, what was that book? And it just automatically came to mind. I didn't even get to finish that sentence. But anyways, I'm also planning to read House of Earth and Blood, which is Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. Yes, I'm so excited to dive into this world. You don't even know. I'm so excited. Prompt number 9 is time frame spans within a week or less. For this one, I know that I put a book or two for my winter reading challenge, and if you haven't checked that out, bestie, what are you waiting for? Check it out. I'll link it up above, and I'll try to remember to link it down below. But anyways, I believe I had Misery by Stephen King and another book, but I'll put it right here, this book, because I believe that it spans within a week or less, and it also goes with my, I think it's my Snowden prompt or something like that. But yeah, this one. The other ones that I added as well are No Exit by Taylor Adams and The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. While I was looking things up, this popped up and I was like, oh, I actually want to read that this year. It's on my list. It goes with this prompt too, so even better. Prompt number 10 is published by your favorite publisher. And this is just pretty simple. I mean, whoever is your favorite publisher, that's what you're gonna read a book by. And it could also be like the imprints from that publisher as well. How did I go about this? Well, I noticed that I have read so many books from Macmillan's publishers, whether it was Macmillan, whether it was St. Martin's Press, whether it was what's the other one, Henry Holt, I think, is part of that as well, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, there's just so many books that I enjoyed that is part of Macmillan. I had to go with The Golden Couple by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. So this one is from, I believe, like an imprint of Macmillan, and that's St. Martin's Griffin. Prompt number 11 is Goodreads Choice nominees. For this one, bestie, I'm not talking about the ones that actually won. I'm talking about the nominees, the ones that didn't win. And this one is also part of my winter reading challenge. So you see, bestie, I got you. I'm looking out for you. I got it in bold. So like that, you can join us in the winter challenge too. Anyways, the book that I have is The Push by Ashley Aldring. And I was trying to read this one this month, but I know for sure that's not gonna happen, especially because we're closer to Christmas. I definitely rolled this one over for next year because I really want to read this one. Prompt number 12, book you've seen on someone's bookshelf. So for this one, you could basically take this in a number of ways. It can be a book that you've seen on your friend's shelf. It can be a book that you've seen on BookTube, on BookTok, on Bookstagram, where they're posting pictures of their shelves or whatever. However, it cannot be from a library shelf because that's just too easy. Okay, so try to pick something from those that I mentioned. So for this one, I decided to go with The Fine Print by Lauren Asher, because I mean, I watch a lot of booktubers that kind of read a lot of romance mainly, so I tend to see this on a lot of my favorites. Okay, so all my magical realism wormies, I got you, because prompt number 12 is read a book with magical realism. And the book that I decided to go with is The Inheritance of Orquídea, what? Wait. The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina, and that's by Zoraida Cordova. I've been kind of interested in this book for a while, hence why I have it. Prompt number 14 is a book that features a parallel world or parallel reality. And the book that I decided to go with is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. And this has been a series that I also have been wanting to read, but never really felt in the mood to read it. So hopefully this year it gets read, but I'm really feeling like it will because I'm in that mood. So that's a good thing. Prompt number 15 is a book set during the holidays. So for that one, I have to go with a totally different book than the one that I used for the winter challenge, because if I'm reading it for this month, that doesn't count for next year. And this challenge is a yearly challenge that begins on January 1st. So it don't count. But I've decided to leave that one blank because next year in December, I'm going to do like the whole Christmas type romances and stuff. Yeah, there will most likely be a video for next year's bookmas for this. But yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to read then. So I just left it at that. So this one is a little bit more challenging. This is prompt number 16, and it's about a woman, by a woman, and it has a woman on the cover. So for that one, I had to go with The Heart Principle by Helen Hong. And most likely I might just use this one for it, but I'm pretty sure I have other books like that, so let's see. Number 17 is season in the title. I'm not looking for words that goes with a season, like let's say winter, right? Snow, spring, rain. No, I'm actually looking for the season in the title. So that means only fall, autumn, winter, spring, and summer should be in the title somewhere. So one of the books that I have for this prompt is Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates and Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. Number 18 is buddy read. So look for a friend that you could buddy read a book with. If you never done it before, well, here's your time to actually try it. I have that blank because a lot of times me and my simps in my Patreon, we read books together because I have an option for them to choose something they want to read with me, or from my TBR, they choose as well. So yeah, I leave that blank and see where it goes this year. Prompt number 19 is meant to read in 2023, but didn't. And that for me had to be All the Ugly and Wonderful Things by Bryn Greenwood. I've been meaning to read this since like 2-3 years ago, and that still hasn't happened. So that's why it's back on here, because I have to make sure I read this next year. As well as The Prophets by Robert Jones Jr. There was so many books that I could have chose from, but these two definitely are the ones that stood out and that I've been having on my TBR so many times, so they had to be listed for this prompt. Prompt number 20 is favorite reviewer book rec. This one I have nothing for yet because it could switch at any time. Basically for this prompt is just whoever you like their reviews, especially here on BookTube, or you know, it could be in any social media, BookTok, Bookstagram, whatever they highly recommend. Read it. So prompt number 21 is actually inspired by a book challenge that I'm looking to do, which is the 52 book club challenge, something like that. And I thought this one was pretty fun, so I just had to include it. It's lowercase letters on the spine. So that one is a little bit tricky because you gotta actually like look at all your books and then see what has lowercase letters. Sorry, I ate some chocolate, so now my mouth is salivating. When I saw this prompt, I was like, that has to be added to mine as well, because looking at my bookshelf, I was like, there's actually not a lot of books with lowercase letters on the spine. Yeah, this one just had to be added. But I didn't add a book for it yet because once I get my TBR knockout challenge ready, that's when I'm gonna pick my book because I'm trying to read more of my books. So yeah. This prompt is number 22 and it's a silhouette or shadow on the cover. So for that prompt, I chose The Collective by Allison Galen. You see that it has like silhouette of the people. So yeah, this one, it has to be the cover, not the title, but the cover. There's really no like leadway too much with this challenge. But you could do it, bestie. I know you can. Number 23 is read a book from a subscription book box. This one might have a little bit of leadway, okay? Because if you a wormy that doesn't get any subscription book box, then how would you be able to do this challenge? So that's the only exception. However, if you ever got a subscription book box and you have books from that box that you haven't read, you got to read those books, okay? You got to pick one from there. All right, because I know me for one, I am definitely guilty of this. This is why I thought of this and had to put it in here. Like I was saying, bestie, even though I have so many books that I could choose from because of the different subscription book boxes I have either bought or repped for, one that I really want to read next year is Heartless Heathens by Santana Knox. If you've seen my Dark Remedies book box video, I'll have it linked up here. I got this and I was super excited for it. Here's my chance to read it this year. Number 24 is Name in the Title. So for this one, I have a few classics that I'm planning to read this year, and that is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, Dracula by Bram Stoker, or Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. It's actually Leo Tolstoy. Yeah, one of these books is going to be the option. These are the three that so far I know I want to read. Just a little teaser, you know, for some bookish goals that I have. Gotta watch the video for that one when it comes out. 25 is a book that was written by a ghostwriter. The only thing I thought of was B.C. Andrews. I don't know exactly which one I'm planning to read next year or if I'm planning to do a whole series again. But yeah, I'm planning to read something by B.C. Andrews because that's the main one that I know is a ghostwriter. So yeah. Number 26 is book that won an award. That can be literally any award. It could be the Pulitzer, the Prince, the Booker, the Newbery. It could even be a Goodreads award as well. So yeah, anyone counts. So for this prompt, I actually went more with the Goodreads winners because I was looking on like the Pulitzer and the Newbery and I was like, those books are so way out of my liking and my taste. And you know me, bestie, I read a little bit of everything, but I just was like, yeah, no, that's not gonna work for me. So I had to go with the Goodreads Choice Awards, and the books that I picked out is whichever one it goes. Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I heard so many amazing things about this, and bestie, you know Taylor Jenkins Reid is my jam. I love her. As you can see, I got another book on this list. Another one that I chose is Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak, something like that. Yeah. For this one, I heard like so many good things about, and a few of my besties actually recommended it to me, and it was like mad hype when it first came out. So let's see how I feel about it, because we all know how I am when it comes to hype books. Prompt number 27 is a book with a number on the title. And for this one, it can be actual number written out, like, you know, letters, numbers, or it can literally be like something like what I have in mind for this prompt. And that book is Half of a Yellow Sun by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I hope I said that right, but yes. And you see, I will definitely accept half, because when you write it out, you use numbers. So anything that pertains to that, is fine as well. Even something like Twice, I will accept that as well. But yeah, that's the prompt. And bestie, you know we have to read diversely. So prompt number 28 is BIPOC author. For that one, I have The Mothers by Britt Bennett. I read The Vanishing Half by her, and I felt like it was okay. I don't remember if I gave it a 3 or a 3.5 stars, something like that. I also have this one and I'm pretty interested in it, so let's see how it goes. So number 29 is Set in Australia or book by an Australian author. Or if you want to really do a challenge for yourself, do both. Books set in Australia and by an Australian author, which for the most part it tends to be that that's the case, but you know, I'll accept either one. So the books that I chose is Gallows Hill by Darcy Coates and or Sisters Under the Rising Sun by Heather Morris. I'm pretty excited about this. I think it's like a historical romance. Historical romance. No, it's not a historical romance. It's a historical fiction. Macmillan sent this to me and it's from St. Martin's Press. So if I really wanted to, I could even use this for that prompt as well. The other book that I also have for this prompt is Empire of the Damned by J. Kristoff. Hello, I read Empire of the Vampire this year. So next year that book is coming out and I'm pretty excited about it, but hopefully it doesn't take me like a whole year and a half to finish it. So fingers crossed on that one. Or I don't even know if I'm going to be in the mood to read that one. So I guess we'll see how it goes. There will be some prompts that you have to like read the book first and then fill it in. Well, this is definitely one of them. And that's prompt number 30 and it's a great first line. I have nothing for that because obviously I need to read a book that has a great first line. So prompt number 31 is kind of similar in that sense, which is first book you touched on your shelves with your eyes closed. So yeah, it's basically just something fun to do, and that's why I added it, because I felt like that's like a pretty fun prompt to do. Prompt number 32 is a book with an animal on the cover. I have two for these. The first one I don't actually own, but that might change, unless actually I'll probably borrow it from the library, but that is Bunny by Mona Awad. I think that's her last name, or well, yeah. And then another one is The Tiger's Daughter by Kay Arsenal Rivera. So this is one that I definitely been looking forward to reading, but I wasn't in the mood, but I feel like I am in the mood for next year. And Bunny is actually one that I've heard a lot about when it first was, out. It kind of died out a bit, but I'm interested in seeing if I would like that one. And again, there might be a video planned for it for next year, just saying. For number 33, it's published in the decade that you were born. I'm either gonna go one or two ways. It's either gonna be a V.C. Andrews book or a Stephen King book, because I'm planning to read 2 Stephen King books next year, so let's see. And then I still have to decide which V.C. Andrews books I want to read. So yeah, it's gonna be either one or the other, because I know that a lot of those books came out in the 80s. So there we go. And I think I might have just slipped up with my age, but that's okay, because you know what? I don't look it. So number 34 is the last book in the series. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory, and that's something that I'm really not going to put in here. Actually, you know what? I can. Come to think of it. Hold up. The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson, and this is book 3 in the Mistborn series. But yeah, let's see. Maybe next year I'll add it and complete it, and that can be for that prompt. Even though I'm reading a lot of other series that can also fit for that prompt, but again, we'll see. I just might make this one specifically for that prompt, so it motivates me to finish this series. Prompt number 35 is author that has written more than 8 books. And for this one, I kind of went with some series that I'm planning to hopefully read next year, and that would be Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. This is a very popular one by her, and I mean, Stalking Jack the Ripper, I'm very interested in serial killers, so let's see how this one does. And I know a lot about Jack the Ripper, so Let's see if she got her historical facts straight. And the next one would be Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. Again, first book in the series, and I plan on reading this next year because I had it planned for this year, but obviously it didn't happen, so here it is again. Let's see if it'll happen next year. Prompt number 36 is something broken on the cover. It could be anything from glass to a page, ripped clothes, a broken window, broken car, anything that's broken. What I went with is My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. And as you can see, the page is ripped, it's broken, and it even has a rip back here, so yeah, that works out. Prompt number 37 is give an author another chance. Listen, bestie, I am really trying with this author, and this is actually the third chance that I'm giving her, and that would be Emily Henry, and I'm planning to read Happy Place. I give this another chance, and hopefully I actually like it, because I'm like, so many people love Emily Henry, and even though I'm like, well, I don't have to love it, but in a sense, I do want to love her work. It was either going to be Emily Henry or Tessa Bailey, because I don't really like much of Tessa Bailey's stuff, so we'll see, but it's most likely going to be Emily Henry because I own her book. I don't own any more of Tessa Bailey books. I got rid of them. Sorry, but not sorry at the same time. Prompt number 38. I'm pretty excited about this one, and that is read a book by an author with the same zodiac sign as you. And this one is a bit challenging, to be honest, because it took me some time to look for some authors, and I kind of found quite a few that I enjoy reading anyway. Oh yeah, and the other thing, if you want to make it like an extra challenge or make it like more fun, which is what I'm planning to do, read it on your birth month. In my case, I'm a November Scorpio, so I'm planning to read The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. Then what's also cool is I have Dracula by Bram Stoker as an option, and it kind of makes sense that he would be a Scorpio, to be honest. And then I also have Fyodor Dostoevsky, something like that. I don't know what book I want to read yet, but maybe while I'm editing, I'll think of, or I'll pick something. So if I do pick something, it would be this book right here. Number 39 is read a book by an author with a disability. Me being somebody with an invisible disability, I had to add this in here. So the two books that I chose are The Bride Test by Helen Hong. I was supposed to read this year, but I just don't see that happening anymore. So might as well move it and roll it over. And then Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. For this one, I actually recently got it because I wanted to read this book again. I remember, I think I read it in college, somewhat read it in college, if I'm really being honest. And it was pretty interesting, but when you're in college, you got so much stuff to do and you're trying to cut corners, so that's kind of what I did. But I really want to read it because I remember enjoying it, and I just might annotate it, so let's see. Number 40, I feel, is a fun one as well, and that's a sports item on the cover. It could be anything that deals with sports, basically. So the one that I chose is The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata, and as you can see, there is a helmet on the cover, and that's one example. Another one that I have listed for this as well, which is actually in a few prompts, but whatever, right, is Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, and as you can see, he has a hockey stick that he's holding, and we could even count the ice skates because that's still like an item that's used for sports, and this is a sports romance, so it just makes sense. And that could be another challenge for you. You can choose like a sports romance as like an extra challenge, so it has to have the item on the cover and be a sports romance, or any kind of like, it revolves around sports, let's say that. Another option that I'm pretty excited for is Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan, and as you see, there's a basketball on the cover, and that definitely counts as well because it's still a sports item. So yeah, it could be like the actual item, or it can be like other items that is used in sports. You know, you get what I'm saying, right, bestie? I mean, the examples say it all too, so I think you'll be good. Prompt number 41 is an element in the title. So as far as like elements, I'm not talking about things like soil and like plants, because you know, is that part of elements, or like whatever, wind, you know, like I'm not talking about that. I am talking about actual element, I guess, categories, which would be earth, fire, air, or water. So for that, I have Into the Water by Paula Hawkins. What you could also do is have that particular element on the cover. You see how there's like different ways that you can make things more challenging or more difficult for you. So this is pretty cool because as you see, it has the element in the title and it has the element on the cover. Again, that's only if you want to make it more challenging. As long as it has the element in the title, that's what really matters. Number 42 is read a classic or a poetry collection. As far as poetry, I really don't own any books with poetry, and I really don't read anything like that. But I have seen a few booktubers that recommend some. So if I can, I might choose those. However, I am planning to read at least 3 or 4 classics this year. The ones I mentioned previously, which is The Picture of Dorian Gray, Dracula by Bram Stoker, whatever. Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. Yes, something like that, but it's here anyways, you know. That's why it's here. So when I fuck up on the name, you know, because of this right here. Number 43 is one word title. Surprise, surprise. Look who's back on this list. Icebreaker. I might have other ones, but you know, this was just like the one that was already here, so might as well. And then another one I have is Liberty by Caitlin Greenidge. And I'm actually using this and this one for a prompt on my winter reading challenge. So you see how I'm just knocking them out? What? 2024 is gonna be our year, bestie. I just know it. We're gonna do all the hot girls. Wait. What? I don't know where that was coming from. I was gonna say hot girl summer. I don't know why that came to mind, but whatever. We're gonna be doing all the cool, nerdy reading. I don't know why I'm trying to go somewhere with that. Let's just move on to the next prompt. Number 44 is weapon on the cover. So for this prompt, I actually have 2 different books with 2 different type of weapons, just so I can show you, like, you know, an example. And that is One of Us is Dead by Geneva Rose. And as you can see, her weapon of choice is a scissors, because when you think about it, you can't kill somebody with scissors, so it's a weapon. And Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman. And as you can see, there's I don't know what that's called. A mallet? Is it a mallet? Well, you see the picture, bestie. You just see. I gave you 2 different examples. Of course, other weapons would be a gun. I don't know if there's stuff with a gun on it, but a knife, a rope, because you know that could be used as a weapon. Basically anything that could be used as a weapon. Okay, so the next few prompts is those prompts that I said that you would have to like read the book, or it kind of like comes to you while you're reading. That is prompt number 45, and that is mentions a book in the book. Something that comes to mind is the Infernal Devices series. The Great Expectations by Charles Dickens is mentioned in there. There's like quite a few books that's mentioned in there. So that's literally what I mean, like a book that's mentioned in the book. So it would have to be the book title. Then for 46, mentions a TV show or a movie. The same concept, just that it mentions a TV show or a movie. And I literally just read something that mentioned a TV show, but I can't remember. Then number 47 is mentions a song, singer, or a band. I just read something, I believe it was Pretty Girls. It mentions my all-time favorite band that I was mad hype when I saw that in there. It mentioned Kurt Cobain, which is the singer, and it mentioned Nirvana. So, you know, I was like, that alone boosted the ratings for the book. Yeah, but you get the point. For number 48, a character that is like you. Basically, it would have to be like a character that you feel would kind of be you if they were like here in the real world, or they were you, you know? So it could be anything from the personality, stuff that you have in common with them, that you relate to with them, but we're more so going with like the personality. There's quite a few books that I read that the character is like a bookworm or a teacher. There's like so many things that reminded me of me, because that was like, you know, I love reading and I'm like a massive bookworm. Or like with teaching, there was like things that would happen that it would make me laugh, because it was like, yeah, that's something that happened to me. So yeah, it could be like that, like something that happened to you in real life as well. Prompt number 49 is book with the prettiest cover. One that I'm looking forward to reading next year is A Proposal They Can't Refuse by Natalie Cagna. And look how beautiful this cover. I just love this cover, and the fact that it's yellow, like I don't have many yellow books, so it's just so pretty. Another one that I just love looking at a lot of the times is Crescent City. I mean, look at this beautiful cover. Like, oh my god, that art. Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent. I absolutely love this cover. It's so beautiful. And Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. I mean, this cover is so beautiful, and Cassandra Clare always like kills it with the covers. She nails it, because they just be so beautiful, especially the new ones now, even more beautiful. I'll just buy the book just for the cover, you know? She would be an exception. So prompt number 50, which is on the flip side of the pretty cover. I mean, we have to go with the opposite, which is the ugliest cover. I feel bad for doing this, but at the same time I don't, because we all look at some covers and be like, that's an ugly cover. And again, I'm the bold one that just says it, you know? So one of them is Catherine House by Elizabeth Thomas, and I don't really like this cover, you know, like I don't care for it. And A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. I don't like this cover. I really don't like the new covers at all, and I'm pretty glad that I have the old covers, even though sometimes I think about getting the new covers in paperback. This kind of upsets me, to be honest, because I have the old covers, but then this came out. And it's like, seriously? Really? Now I'm stuck with my old pretty covers, and then there's this. Let's move on, because this really triggers me. So here are the 5 bonus prompts, and you already know that I'm definitely doing it, because that's just me. Like, overachiever. Even though sometimes I do achieve things. And next year's bookish goals is gonna be different. All right, I'm definitely keeping to a lot of stuff that I say. Be on the lookout for that video. If you're not subscribed, bestie, hurry up and subscribe, because there's a lot of videos I got planned that I'm sure you're not gonna want to miss. But anyways, let's go back to these prompts. So prompt number 51 is a book with a cover change. I just mentioned one. A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. Having to bring this again triggers me again, because I'm just still thinking of how, you know, it changed, and I have 3 other covers, and this is literally part of A Court of Roses. A Court of Thorns and Roses. Yeah, that. There's like a lot of other ones, you know. I'll see if I add anything else, but from the last prompt, I just might need to use this one for this prompt. That's what's good about having 2 books, because you know, sometimes you don't want to be thinking like, if this is math, you know, we just want to have things easier for us, and that's just easier for me. Number 52 is book you just bought. So yeah, you know, bestie, I had to look out for us, you know, because sometimes I buy a book and I just want to read it, and you're gonna hear more about that when I do my TBR knockout challenge. There's just so much tea that I gotta spill with you during that challenge. So again, make sure you here with me, you know. Anyways, number 53 is book that was satisfying. So yeah, basically after you read a book, if it left you satisfied, there you go, that belongs for that prompt. Number 54 is a book you couldn't say goodbye to. So bestie, you know, we be having them books that like really touch our heart and that we just can't say goodbye to, right? It's like one of those books that you keep thinking about. Sometimes it leaves you with such like a book hangover that you can't get over it. You just hug it. Every time you see it, you smile. It just makes you super happy. Like, it's hard for you to just move on. Yeah. Number 55 is a book that made you slam it shut. So we all know that sometimes there's some books that piss us off and we just get upset and slam it shut and put it down. Or sometimes it'd be that book that it was like an emotional scene or something bad happened and you just gotta slam it shut and put it away and give yourself a few days. That would count. Or it could be like when a conflict is arising and something crazy happened and you just went so crazy in that moment that you was just like, oh my God, and you closed the book. I know you've had those moments because that's why we read, right? That's why, because of those feelings that we have. So basically these 5 prompts are geared towards feelings that we have with books that we read. Even 51, which is the cover changes. That triggers you and upsets you. Well, if you're anal like me. You see what I did there, bestie? You know. You see, I be creative with these things. Anyways, bestie, let me know down below, like, are there any books on my list that you're planning to read? Are you gonna join this challenge? And don't forget to join the book club. I'll have that link down below or pinned in the first comment. And yeah, if you enjoy my videos and my content, or you're looking forward to some of the content I'm planning to bring to you next year, definitely subscribe, because that makes us besties officially. You know, you got to put that title on it. And while you're there, like this video and comment down below and turn on post notifications. That way you don't miss nothing with your girl Jeannie here. Happy holidays, stay safe, and I love you so much. Bye.